Thank you for checking out this Thursday edition of CNN Student News, whether you're watching us on Headline News, online, or on iTunes. I'm Carl Azus. First up, the last debate of this presidential campaign. Hofstra University hosted the final face-off between Senators John McCain and Barack Obama. It was one of the last chances for the White House hopefuls to really get their message out to a national audience. On Sunday, Bob Schieffer, who moderated last night's event, talked about how he intended to question the candidates. According to Schieffer, we've heard the general outlines of what they're talking about. This time, it's come to be a little more specific. Brianna Keeler has the details on last night's debate.
Debating face-to-face for the last time before Election Day, John McCain resisted as Barack Obama tried to draw a comparison between President Bush and McCain.
I am not President Bush. If you wanted to run against President Bush, you should have run 4 years ago. I'm going to give a new direction to this economy in this country.
On the core economic issues that matter to the American people, you have been a vigorous supporter of President Bush.
John McCain tried to raise questions about Barack Obama's character and his relationship to 1960s radical Bill Ayers.
I don't care about an old washed-up terrorist, but as Senator Clinton said in her debates with you, we need to know the full extent of that relationship.
Mr. Ayers is not involved in my campaign. He has never been involved in this campaign, and he will not advise me in the White House.
But the biggest issue of this domestic policy debate was the economy.
I want small businesses, and by the way, the small businesses that we're talking about that would receive an increase in their taxes right now. Why would you want to increase anybody's taxes right now? Why would you want to do that? Anyone in America, when we have such a tough time.
I want to provide a tax cut for 95% of working Americans. 95%. If you make less than $250,000 a year, then you will not see your income tax go up, your capital gains tax go up, your payroll tax, not one dime.
For CNN Student News, I'm Brianna Keeler at Hofstra University in Hempstead, New York.
Is this legit? The U.S. Constitution establishes Election Day as the Tuesday after the first Monday in November. Right day, wrong source. Article 2 of the Constitution addresses how the president is elected, but gives Congress the power to decide when.
Time for some economic good news, bad news. First the good. Yesterday, oil costs hit their lowest point in more than a year. That translates to lower prices at the gas pump. Tuesday's national average for a gallon of regular, around $3.12. That's nearly a full dollar cheaper than the record high. But here's the bad, the stock market. You know that $1.2 trillion rally on Monday? It's gone. Yesterday, the Dow Jones dropped about 733 points, wiping out nearly all of Monday's gain. That was the second biggest one-day drop ever for the Dow. Now, some experts think fears about a possible recession might have sparked that stock market stumble. As we said yesterday, a recession is a significant decline in economic activity. Now, several countries around the world are concerned about the R word, but if it happens, how will we know? Jim Bolden explores the answer.
Okay, it may not get so bad that Britain's Queen will be flipping burgers, as in this altered photo making the email rounds. But Britain is likely in recession already. How do we know? Well, we don't yet.
Famously, the National Bureau of Economic Research decides when it's a recession, and in the past it has decided that they've had a recession after the recession is actually finished.
But to many, the technical definition is irrelevant.
Definition of recession: not enough money to buy the good things in life.
Not having any money to spend on the things I want.
When shops start to shut and no one's got any money. There you go, there's a simple definition for you.
So, who is in recession?
Well, officially, it's France, Ireland, Denmark, Singapore, and New Zealand. And that doesn't equate to a global recession.
But that fear is why stock markets have plummeted from the highs of last year.
We've got a recession already in the United States. There's a risk of a world recession. That means demand's dropping sharply.
Actually, the U.S. is not technically in recession either. Don't tell the candidates.
In this economy, raising taxes is the surest way to turn a recession into a depression.
Ah, the D word. That chestnut is getting used more and more, though things may get bad enough without reminding people of the 1930s.
Definition of recession is the market going downhill. People are struggling to pay their debts, and I think that's what recession will be all about.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. What is recession?
If only the rest of us could be in the dark. Jim Bolden, CNN, London.
Checking out a couple other headlines now about the health of the current vice president and a former first lady. Vice President Dick Cheney, he has a history of heart disease, experienced an abnormal heart rhythm yesterday. According to a spokesperson for Mr. Cheney, a procedure to fix the problem went smoothly and without complication. And former First Lady Nancy Reagan is in the hospital recovering from a broken pelvis. She fell at her home last week. Doctors say they're satisfied with her progress and that Mrs. Reagan is in good spirits.
See if you can ID me. I'm the smallest breed of dog in the world, usually weighing from 1 to 6 pounds. I'm named after a state in Mexico where I was first discovered. I'm Carl Azuz's favorite type of dog. I'm a Chihuahua, star of the current #1 movie in America.
Okay, a little bit of explanation there. The reason I'm partial to Chihuahuas is because I had one as a pet growing up. Her biggest talent, well, she used to ride around on our shoulders when we drove, and once she climbed into a drive-thru window. I don't know if you'd call it a talent. She did get some French fries. Now, it might not be the most impressive skill you've ever heard of in a dog, but there is one pint-sized pooch in Ohio that has people perking up their ears to hear what's coming out of his. Catherine Bosley of affiliate WOIO in Ashtabula County, Ohio, examines this Chihuahua's extraordinary emissions.
Debbie Dalton's Geneva home packed with 11 dogs and standing out.
And here's our Frankie.
Yep, Frankie the Chihuahua. He's not really a talking dog, but
I hear it's like just a
radio pitch.
Yeah. A pitch. Yeah.
Huh. That's wild.
The little guy's shocking people, emitting what sounds just like a high-pitched radio frequency from his especially big, perhaps antenna-like ears. Listen.
Okay, take it away. Put it back.
Deb first discovering this a couple months ago.
And Frankie's walking along the back of the sofa, and I got closer and closer. I said, oh my goodness, it's the dog that's buzzing.
And with so many dogs, when it comes time to get outside and play a little, it can be tough for Deb to keep track of all these guys. But when it's little Frankie who comes up missing, well, all she has to do is listen to that unique sound.
Oh, I thought I heard you over here.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Well, it doesn't seem to bother Frankie. It bothers Debbie that she doesn't know what's going on, and not even her vet can help her.
But when they're both up and he's sleeping with his head facing me, sometimes I have to move.
So maybe Frankie, a.k.a. Radar, rare enough to make history.
Sure.
If he doesn't make himself. Or anyone else crazy first. In Ashtabula County, Catherine Bosley, 19 Action News.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, students, lend us your ears. We want CNN Student News to be your home page, that is. Transcripts of our daily show, maps related to the stories in our program, discussion questions, learning activities, news quizzes, all of it's free, all of it's at cnnstudentnews.com. So make us your homepage and have this wealth of resources right at your fingertips. It's awesome. Okay, going to bring it back down a little bit now. Before we go, a Texas Police Department has a new plan to fight crime. Paint the jail pink. Bars, bunks, walls, everything but the toilet has been transformed into something out of like Barbie's dream house. The idea behind this Pepto-coated cooler is to shame criminals into staying out of the slammer. Officers think that once someone spent some time behind bubblegum-colored bars, they'll think twice before committing an act that could send them back to this pink purgatory. An arresting image that slams the cell door in today's show. We're going to break out and meet you back here tomorrow. For CNN Student News, I'm Carl Azuz.